Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Let me answer something that I just saw in the chat. YouTube wants me to prove that I'm old enough. Yes, the reason why is because I set this stream up to be 18 and above, so that it doesn't get messed with if I just go off at the mouth. Now, I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure on that setting, but I know there's a lot of people who complain about what happens when they swear a lot or something like that. And right now, I'm just going to say I don't fucking care. So I put it as 18 plus. Anyway, either way, doesn't matter. Can everybody see my screen here? I want to know I got my settings right because everything just got updated. And, just, I don't know, throw me some bacon if you see my screen correctly and where it says Jason. And I really wish the settings in the chat worked like they used to, because I'd like to know if that Unirock 2 is actually Unirock 2. But either way, I don't really care. Hold on a second here. Okay, yep, I'm getting all good. Okay, cool. So, a lot of people have been coming up to me in this for the past month with all the hype about Shawn's fundraiser and where's Shawn been and why is Shawn hiding and stuff. Well, first of all, he's not really obligated to respond to every stupid little claim. He's also not necessarily required to respond to any of it. I mean, let's just be honest with that. Now, the truther mindset would be that he's required to respond just because the claim exists. And I'm going to say that's not true, even though most of the times that's the way we end up doing it, but it's just not true. He's not required to answer every one of these things, because every single time that I've seen that Shawn has answered anything, it gets twisted into some kind of weird narrative or unresearched claims by Jason. He is still going on about the fact that somebody doesn't have to pay out their lease. Even though you've been shown. Oh my God, how many times have you been fucking shown? Okay, but nevertheless, forget that, we're not here to talk about that. So, Shawn saying nothing is probably the best thing that he can do. Now, I'm going to say this just on a character reference on Shawn. As you guys know, I've known Shawn for about 5 years. We've collaborated online several times. I've never met the man, but nevertheless, he's got a very good track record, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing negative to say about the man, right? And so the question becomes, what is there? Why is it that Shawn's being quiet? Well, one thing that I do know is that Shawn is, in most respects, a very private man. Yes, okay, he does online streams. Yes, he has shown his face. Yes, he has answered several rather uncomfortable questions in the time that he's been online, and taken it all in stride. I do know that there was several situations where he was in some rough shape throughout the time that I've known him, and we've all offered to help him out and all this. And there's been several times where he has actually said no, he doesn't want help. Okay, he's not the kind of person who want to ask for a handout or anything like that. It's gone on time and time again. I can speak of a couple of times where I was on either with in a private hangout. We would be either with Red or with Jared, and a couple other people, just saying, hey, let us help you out and stuff like that. And he's like, no, I don't want help. I don't want help. I don't want help. Okay, so to even go as far as he did to even have the fundraisers to get his life in order, due to the predicament that he was in, yeah, that was a stretch enough for him. And then just to have it turn into this shit show, just because one person, that would be Jason, aka Unirock, aka Rock a Lot, one person is butthurt enough to start, just slinging shit against people. And now, like I said, and he's been doing the whole time with the truther's tactic of making allegations that he himself refuses, and I say again, refuses to substantiate. He makes allegations thinking that the allegations themselves are worthy of response, and those who do not respond to them are somehow guilty. Okay, that is a truther mentality. You can call them a flat earther, you can call them a hoaxer and stuff like that. That is a truther mentality. Somebody who is either convinced themselves or is trying to convince others of somebody else's guilt, and then putting the burden of disproving those claims on the person that you're claiming. Now, I absolutely find it hysterical that now that Fight the Flat Earth is actually going against the false allegations that were made against him by Jason, that I find it hysterical that Jason is finally reaping a little bit of what he's sown here. And I listened to a part of it. I only skimmed through these streams of his, and I listened to a part of his stream, and he was talking about, oh yeah, I can't wait until YouTube reviews these videos and all this, and they see what a fraud these guys are. Jason, just to let you know, YouTube is not going to watch the videos. YouTube is not going to review them. YouTube is not going to be a judge. I can almost guarantee you that YouTube doesn't give a shit. And I'm saying that in the most professional means because of the fact that that's why YouTube themselves says that you should start a case and are you sure and all this other stuff before putting out a strike against somebody. You do realize that, right? Because they don't care. They're not going to do it. What's going to happen is a legal process. If you read further in those terms of service and you read further in those things about defamation and slander and all this other stuff, unless they just see somebody outright going off about somebody, YouTube is not going to care. YouTube doesn't give a shit. Okay, it's just not YouTube's deal. They completely wash their hands of it. They say, okay, if you want to do this, we'll take your word for it, but then you're also going to submit a legal complaint and you're going to follow this outside of YouTube because YouTube is not there to be an international jury and they're not going to do any research on it. They're not. That's just not how that happens. Period. Okay, so we got that. Now, recently I also tried to have Jason on for a one-on-one live stream, which he seems to want to call a debate. No, I made it very clear that I wanted him to come onto my channel and provide this top secret hidden proof that this solid proof that he has against Shawn. Well, Jason refused. Jason refused in flying colors, actually, by claiming that he had content to make and he wanted to spend time with his family and I should reach out to him, or no, excuse me, people who want to debate with him should reach out in a professional manner. Okay, well, here's a neat little fact for you there, Jason. Let's see. Steve, Red, Shawn, Cy Strikeling, Fight the Flat Earth, have all been blocked by you on one, if not one or more platforms. Blocked. So people can't even reach out to you anyway. Okay? Me personally, you gave me the permaban, whatever the hell that means. Okay? Because I'm not blocked on Twitter. Yeah, okay. You muted me on YouTube, as far as I can see on that. And it would be about time that you also admitted that from last year. And I'm pretty sure that I think it's a safe bet to say that you also blocked Chesh, but I haven't been able to get in contact with her to find out. Because contrary to your popular claims, we don't all kind of hunker down in some little room together and discuss our next big scam. Okay? I ask. If I get an answer, I get an answer. If I don't, I don't. So, having said all that, okay, so blocking all lines of communication and all these other things, but then going back to Shawn for a second here. Now let me go ahead and show you. Now these are public tweets, nothing hidden here. This is Unirock and his little stoolie menace to sobriety. Who the hell is that? Can somebody get that off of my shit there? And by the way, if anybody shows up here arguing against any of this, no, next time don't just hide them. Just get rid of them. But if anybody shows up onto here, please do not ban anybody who argues against me. I am not that person. Okay, so let's just not go. Let's just not go there. You want to put them on a timeout if they're spamming, that's fine. But just don't block people. I will take the liberty myself to block people. So, but that one, yeah, that can go because that shows the mentality. Just in case anybody, you won't see this in the if you play this back. So I'm going to show this here. This shows you the mentality of the people we're dealing with. Now these aren't flat earthers. Mind you, I used to make this argument about flat earthers. These aren't flat earthers. These are people who are actually on the side, or at least pretending to be on the side of logic. And this is the shit you guys pull. Okay? Just like to point that out. The level of maturity is just unbelievable. Anyway, but what I wanted to say here is, now, there's an important reason why I'm having this live stream today. And it's actually an important reason that I've been keeping to myself for the last about 14 days, honestly. And now it says here, this was Unirock. He had said on the 2nd of March, this was in the beginning of me researching what his claims were. He says, I called the landlord. The landlord said he didn't pay. For all of you who don't know, it's supposed to be something about paying off his lease. What do you call it? And then my menace to sobriety actually said, he said, there's an email that confirms both, or wait, excuse me. There's an email that both confirms no payment and that the image sent to them is indeed the Shawn Hufford they sued. Now this kind of bugged me when I heard this, and this was on the same day. This kind of bugged me. I was like, who's sending a picture? I mean, I was like, what sense does that make? Who are you sending a picture to? Okay, because EPM, Equity Property Management, for all intents and purposes, only rents to one Shawn Hufford. We got that part. And the second part is, there's only one Shawn Hufford who went through that eviction process, which has nothing to do with the payment of rent. Nothing. In fact, just like when I tell people that the word level isn't in Euclid's, okay, the word rent isn't on any of the documentation. Now, I happen to know why the confidential order was given out, and you know what? At this point, I don't even care. I know why the confidential order was given out. And far be it for a lawyer, a bar-certified lawyer, or the company who is being serviced, in this case the plaintiff, against Shawn, to violate that order. So the question is, why would they need to send a picture to him? It says, because the person wanted to make sure it wasn't a different Shawn Hufford. Well, here's the funny part. The folks who went to court have never seen Shawn Hufford before. Never seen him. Not even once. Have never seen him. Judge don't know him. The lawyer don't know him. And the woman who showed up for EPM don't know him. So why would they need a picture? Why would somebody even admit to sending a picture? Well, time went on, and I had changed my tune about a little over 2 weeks later, and I asked this question to Menace to Sobriety. I should note that after this, Menace to Sobriety got real quiet. Okay, as in not completely quiet. In other words, he still popped in there a couple of times, but he got real quiet. There was a word that I used to him, and I just wanted to make sure that he heard it, because this was around the same time that I heard the reason for this video today. See, I wrote, I said the guy, this was me replying to him. These were quotes of his. If these guys weren't so dishonest, then they wouldn't have to sit in the bushes and wait. And I said, where have I heard that before? Many references to flat Earth on that one, and convex Earth. But then, and then I also put on there, if NASA wasn't so dishonest, they would respond to every stupid FE and hoaxer claim. Do you have the legally obtained proof or not? Now, there's something in there that most of you will not notice. However, there's something in there that Uni and Menace and probably Neg probably knows. And he goes, of course it's legally obtained. Wouldn't be any good if it wasn't. By the way, watching some old videos which FE Core are being called frauds with no hard evidence. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't hide from my evidence. In fact, I posted it in 2 very long videos. Videos that were actually supported by Unirock. So you need to be careful on that one. And then, what do you call it? But then I said, I would also like to note that despite me giving you the opportunity to send me your proof offline, because I had posted an email address that he could send it to, says, you have yet to do so. And that either means that it don't exist, or it's nothing new from what has already been stated and shown to be wrong, or just not genuine. Now, I thought all that was, like I said, there's a word in there. There's one word in there. The word is legally. But we'll come back to that. And Menace had told me earlier, said there is an email. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I already showed that. Yeah, I had it backwards. But, sorry, I had my slides backwards. But he said that they wanted to make sure that it was that it wasn't a different Shawn Hufford. Like I said, these are people who do not know him. So why would you send a picture to somebody you don't know to prove something about somebody they don't know? Okay, just think about that for a second. And what do you call it? And then this was me. This was actually the day, 2 days before that, where I had sent him the email address. Now I received several emails after posting that address, but as promised, I will not say who I received messages from, nor out the information, out the people related to the information that I received. However, I can say the contents, because I'm here to tell you that the information that was given to me, like I said, I received several emails after this, and the information that was given to me says that there is nothing. On the 16th of March, I received this information. I received in one of the emails that I received, it says, that is from my phone. I'm assuming that that's the picture of the screen cap of a phone number that was called. I told Uni he might want to redact the last 4 digits. Now you need to pay attention to this information. I told Uni he might want to redact the last 4 digits so that a poor receptionist didn't show up to work today with the phone ringing off the hook. Now, mind you, didn't show up to work today. Okay, this was on the 16th. Okay, way beyond any time that there was any other claim before. Phone wasn't ringing off the hook, and 100 messages from people who are too lazy to get the information themselves from the site showing the filing like we searched for. In other words, he's saying that he wanted the phone number redacted so people didn't call up the place that he called just because they're too lazy to get the information off of the court website, which everybody has seen. Okay? Which is stating that that's the information that we have. And he says, I spoke to the lawyer who was verified the judgment with me, which I'm guessing says who has verified the judgment with me. He did nothing illegal, nor shared any personal information with me. So that means there was no payment information shared. There was no financial information shared. All he did was verify the judgment that we already knew, and he's already referencing right here. So he just said, just thought I'd clear that up with you. So what that means is the only information that is supposedly hiding in the background, which is actually, I think somebody had actually put it some way saying that using fear as a way to manipulate people is terrorism. As a matter of fact, I think that was Menace to Sobriety that said that. So the only information that they have, wait, hold on a second here. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I was reading one of the comments in the thing there. But, so the only information they have is the information that everybody else has. And those are those 8 things that I ran down on my previous video, showing that while none of them prove that Shawn did pay his rent, don't get me wrong, they also in no way, shape, or form prove that he didn't. Do you understand that? Okay? Like I said, I'm a skeptic guy. You know, show me the proof and I'm on board with you. And you best be getting out of my way. But don't come to me with assumptions and opinions and all that other shit, because it doesn't interest me. Let's see. From the lawyer? Yeah, keep on trying that critical argument. From the lawyer? No, all I did was I showed you a screen cap of a lawyer's write-up about what happens surrounding an eviction. And no, it doesn't prove me wrong. Okay? There's a lot of people out there, and critical argument's one of them, who like to think that private information is just free and available. Okay? To anybody who calls up. Well, gee, I wrote a total of 6 emails to Mr. Yeeke and Equity Property Management. See, I'm not afraid to actually say names. Okay? I wrote 6 emails in total to Equity Property Management and Mr. Yeeke. And guess what? Not one of them got returned. Why? Because I don't have a right to know the information I was asking for. That's why. That's why. And you can twist the words all you want there, because every one of you knows that private information is to be held private. Now, that brings us right into where we're going. Thank you, Critical Argument. I really appreciate that, because you gave me a good segue right into what I was going for. So here's the reason why I made this stream today, and I'm sorry for leading into it with so much stuff, but I just figured I'd point this out. One of the main reasons why, and I did ask, and you know what, if you're stupid to think that I haven't asked questions to Shawn. Okay, I've asked, Reds has asked, other people have asked. Okay, and this goes back to Shawn being a personal and private person generally. Shawn obviously no longer lives in Indiana. You know, the whole reason he had the fundraiser was to move. And he no longer lives there. In fact, he lives several hundred miles away now. And in his efforts to get a hold of Mr. Yeeke, and in his efforts to get a hold of Equity Property Management, and in his efforts to get a hold of anybody who could send him the proof that he needs, which he would love to produce. Here's the funny part. Because of Unirock, yes, I am blaming Unirock for this. Because of Unirock and the narrative that he has spun, and all his little lackeys, some of whom are in the chat right now. Menace to Sobriety, Critical Argument. To those who have spun this information and basically called to get information, and they've even stated, we've called and we've emailed and sent a picture. Okay. Now, the only other reason I could think that somebody would want to send a picture of somebody is if they tried to impersonate them by saying, look, this is me, to somebody who might not otherwise know. Meaning, might not otherwise know that Shawn has hours and hours of him online. And you could just take a screen cap of that and send it over there. So that plays a little bit better into the wheelhouse of why somebody would send a picture. Not to verify which Shawn Hufford we're talking about, but to impersonate the fact that they are not, or to imply that they are Shawn Hufford by sending a picture to verify. See, what has actually happened here is that the amount of information and the amount of calls that have been made over to the landlord, see, I can do that too, and the lawyer, people have called up trying to claim to be agencies, which they are not, and people, in this case, Shawn Hufford, which they are not. And what that has done is that has tainted, even if this wasn't a story online, that has tainted Shawn's ability to obtain any information remotely without either legal representation to do so or showing up in person, which it seems that pretty much it's down to showing up in person now. Now, there's been a couple of us in the background who have been trying to facilitate this to see if we can get Shawn over to where he's got to go. Now, no, I am not saying at all in any way send Shawn money. No, of course not. And no, there will not be a fundraiser for this. Okay, we were just a couple of people who wanted to help the man out. Now, what comes out of that? Future will tell. But I will just say this. This is why I put the 18 on there. Every one of you sick conspiracy-believing fucks who would have the audacity to call up just because of a YouTube video and some personality that you're following around on YouTube being led by the nose by bullshit. Every one of you who called up and actually attempted to impersonate, because you noticed that when you first called up, it didn't work. They weren't going to give you the information. So you called up to impersonate Shawn Hufford. You called up to impersonate other organizations, trying to get information to support Unirock, a guy who is proven to lie about people he doesn't like. Please understand the word proven there. This is why, for the last month, I keep on asking, where's the proof? Show me this proof. Yeah, I see you saying, Sly is just lying now. Menace, I've been asking you for what? How long has it been now? Almost the whole month to show me this email that you got. And gosh, you haven't shown it to me yet, have you? Wasn't there supposed to be a video from Neg? He didn't post it either. And why didn't he post it? What was your excuse? Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't want Chesh to get the money for the video because she actually held a marathon live stream waiting for it to get produced or published. So really, hard proof. Let's see. Otherwise, you're as bad. Hard proof for that. Otherwise, you're as bad as the person you claimed. No. Hard. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to prove my stuff now? Gosh, that's you want some kettle or you want some pot with that? I mean, Sorry, buddy. You're the one who actually says you have an email. Uni says he called the landlord. He actually said he called the landlord. Okay? And then another guy here says that he was the one that actually called, and straight up is admitting to me that there's nothing new to report. So, you can make out of that whatever you want to. All I'm going to say is that you sick fucks, just to support Unirock and his crusade of butthurt, you would call up and interfere in somebody's personal life. Okay? And thereby, as a consequence to that, fuck up his ability to even handle the shit that he needs to get handled. Let's see. Hard proof for the impersonation claims. Oh, I'm sorry. Then what was the reason? Did they tell you that they're renting to another Shawn Hufford, or did you just kind of come up with it out of your own ass to send them a picture? Who sends a picture when they're asking about somebody's rent? It's not like Shawn's name is Steve Smith or something, where there could be 1,000 of them. You piece of shit. That's all I'm going to say. You piece of shit. He didn't say... no, he's arguing with somebody else. So, all I'm going to say to you, man... Now, like I said, I'm even going to caveat it with this. I can still be proven wrong. I'll say it out loud. Why? Because Sly ain't got problems with being proven wrong. But y'all like to call me a liar for putting out this information. Y'all like to call me a liar for doing the research that I've done. Okay? Y'all like to find little words to twist around. Yeah, keep on laughing there, Menace. And so y'all like to do all this shit, but you know what? I'm just like this, man. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. Because anybody, I'm on record many times saying that, interfering in people's personal lives and doxing people. Yes, I do disagree with doxing people. And whoever actually does it, and that means putting their information out online, I disagree with all of those practices. And I always have, and I always will. Okay? So, the short answer is, Shawn is probably frustrated to hell. And I know he is. He knows I know he is. Shawn is frustrated to hell because of the fact that even the shit that he's trying to take care of, he can't take care of it anymore because ignorant fucks like you actually tried to impersonate him and interfere in his personal life just to spin a narrative of somebody who's had a hate boner for Steve McRae. Okay? Let's see here. Yeah, I totally agree there, Syph. I totally agree. So, I'm just going to say it like that. I also lied when you... Wait, hold on. You also lied when you said the case was listed as confidential. Only one document was, and you know that because you looked at the site. Yes, there is a confidential order, and you know what? I'm not even going to tickle it for you because I'm going to say I know why it's confidential. I know with about 99% certainty why it's confidential. 99% being the 1%, leaving 1% for the availability for me to be wrong. But I know why it's confidential. And I'm not even going to go into that with you. But the fact that it says it's confidential, that should be telling you anything you need to know. Yeah, the frustrating part is they demand evidence, but in the same breath, they say no evidence will be considered. Oh, yeah, 100% agree with you, Shawn. 100% agree with you. Okay? Because you guys have blocked or muted Steve, Red, Shawn, Cy Strikeling, Fight the Flat Earth, me, and presumably also Chesh. And again, that's only because I haven't received a response back to me asking her that. But I think it's a safe bet. And so, how are you supposed to get proof? I mean, shit, I even played a video for you the other day of when Shawn was actually way back in the spring of last year, when Shawn was trying to show information that Uni was going on about. Shawn went to go online with him on his show, okay, on Uni's show, and Uni blocked him. Even turned around, what are you worried about, dude? I ain't talking to you no more. I ain't talking to you no more. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what you get shown. Shawn could turn around right now and find in his sock drawer the receipt, and he could take a photograph of it and post it online. And y'all wouldn't accept it. You would say, oh, that's fake, or that could be done, or, what about this and what about that? There is nothing that you will accept. The moment you admit that publicly would be great. Now, Uni likes to turn around and say that he's got, business needs, because he needs to provide his content and get his super chats. These are his words. Provide content and do his super chats and spend time with his family, even though I thought that was rather interesting because he also told me to look into how many, he actually told me to look into how long he's been online and all this. And I found out that just over this month, he had 19 total live streams and videos on both his channels, totaling 64.2 hours, rounded the minutes. And then, yes, I'm sorry, they're not all Periscopes. Some of them are Twitter Lives, but I just put Periscope because that was what all the stuff that was being posted on Twitter was Periscopes. But it's also Twitter Lives. But to add one more, but 102 equaling 75.9 hours. Okay, 75.9 hours plus 64. You need a ruler to see how much time he's spending online, and you want to bitch about the fact, oh, I got to spend time with my family and all this. Doesn't seem like that's a priority to you there, homie. And especially seeing the fact that I offered him the ability to come up one-on-one on my channel means I'm not hiding from it, homie. Okay? To come up on my channel. Oh, and I love the part where he says, oh, when I was back in the military, bitch, please. What comparison does that, are you trying to vie for your 10% at Denny's, man? Okay. I'm a veteran too. I know what that job's like. So don't even start. But I just thought it was so funny that he says, oh, I have content and I have to spend time with my family. But over 140 hours of time was spent online in this month? I mean, come on, man. And not once. I even offered him the ability. I offered him the ability to get online with me and prove his case. And he ran from it. Because I didn't reach out to him in a professional manner, even though he's got me blocked and muted and ignoring. So, essentially, no matter what gets shown to these idiots, yes, I'm saying idiots now, no matter what gets shown to these idiots, they're not going to accept it. Okay? They're already convinced that rent is the only reason why you can get an eviction. They refuse to look up the actual laws, or at least legal advice. Let's see. Oh yeah, well, I had no way to verify the amount of time on Discord. But, yeah, his little secret mod meetings, I'm sorry, man, they're going to be the death of you, buddy. Because, it's just all he has to do is provide his proof. His rock solid proof. But He hasn't. Now, if I had put together all the videos that I have in the discussion of flat Earth, and I never provided proof to back up anything that I said, yeah, I probably wouldn't be taken seriously at all. Now, it's obvious that flat earthers don't take me seriously, and that's because they have to not take me seriously. But, and I also found out that there's also even a possibility that, that Uni even blocked Boole, which I find a little bit creepy, only because of the fact that, well, Boole sadly passed away. So I don't understand what the point of that was. But, this is just so crazy. But that's why you see critical argument, menace to sobriety, in my chat right now, arguing that other people need to produce proof because they are following the truther tactic of my accusation is fact, but I don't have to prove it. You have to prove me wrong. So, let's see here. Yeah, I remember that. Sorry, I'm looking through the chat here. But ultimately, so I'm done with this. I've given a whole month of, as I stated before, constipated tweets. In other words, tweet threads that go into talking about other things because somebody doesn't want to get some shit or doesn't want to understand some shit, would rather call me a liar, would rather hang on me about the fact that I said that I've always understood the word sued as in a completed lawsuit where I received damages from somebody, meaning I received a settlement from somebody. Shit, they went on for 3 days about that shit. Let's see, hold on a second here. We're just holding you to the same standards that you hold everyone else. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've done my work and shown it publicly. Have you? No, you haven't. So you ain't holding me to no damn standards. In fact, let's see. Moderate extremist banning you was Steve McRae. Was a Steve McRae move. Uni called you out. You showed up. You got banned. That's weak as fuck. Let's see here. I have no problems calling out Uni. I doubt you've got the spine to call out anyone from your side, though. Yeah, but you won't call out Uni for not posting his proof. Let's see. Here's another one here. I just searched the word called because I wanted to find one tweet, and I found all this other shit, which is just kind of funny. Let's see. Reality is, y'all shit talk the fuck out of people. You don't like to try and justify it by saying they're bad people. That's a recipe for being called out as a hypocrite eventually. I don't understand why people even watch them. We hate Uni. Let us watch his scope. Well, people like to know. Well, actually, you know what? I won't even say people. I'll even just say myself. Because I'm looking for the proof. So I've skimmed the majority of his periscopes or Twitter lives or whatever. I've skimmed the majority of them. I have. Looking for the proof. And I haven't found it yet. So if that's wrong of me, to actually, I would like to think that if I was blindly defending Shawn, or blindly defending Reds, or just plugging my fucking ears, as Uni has so eloquently put it, I would like to think that I wouldn't be doing any of that. And I'd just be telling all y'all to go fuck yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Now, you could probably just say that, oh, well, right here in this stream, you said that we can all go fuck ourselves. Yeah, after waiting a year, plus hardcore for a month here, and you even said we don't have to prove it? Come on now. You won't call out Uni for not posting the proof. Yeah. Last time we dropped evidence, they went and started changing narratives. Dude, you can't change proof. What are you talking about? The last time we dropped evidence, they went and started changing narratives and docs. Dude, if I turned around right now and I showed proof of something, I don't know. If I showed proof of something, you can't change that. Okay? You can't change that at all. So who gives a damn about what somebody says about it if you produce your proof? You know what I'm saying? Who gives a damn what somebody says about it? You produce your proof. You know, Uni keeps on talking about the fact that he needs the money from his live streams, which, okay, you know, that's his deal, even though I find it a little bit funny that he's talking about other people being just in it for the money. He says he needs his money from his live streams. Well, doesn't that actually dictate that his reputation should be of some value? And so therefore, instead of going on a year-plus rant about calling somebody a fraud, how about actually producing your proof that they're a fraud? That right there, that makes your reputation skyrocket. You even get people on board who weren't on board before. And then he can make all the money he wants off his fucking video games. I mean, that's his choice. But until you actually produce it, even your own people will start being like, you know what, this is starting to smell foul. It's starting to smell an awful lot like butthurt. So, that's kind of where I'm at on this. So ultimately, the point that I came here to make, let's see, calls out Uni for calling people out and running. Oh, really? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can get that up here. Hold on one second, people. Sorry about this. What's he got? Oh, he's got a Twitter for me to look at. And what's that Twitter say? Oh wow, that was right around the time that they blocked you. This is Menace to Sobriety right here. Gotta call out Unirock TV here. Oh wait, let me get this a little bigger so people can see it. Gotta call out Unirock TV here. He called out Shawn Hufford, made a bunch of accusations. Shawn showed up to talk and was immediately banned. Uni pulled a Steve and secured his echo chamber. We just crucified Elusive Man, whoever that is, for bitching out versus Brody Nate, whoever that is. We crucify Steve, and he's showing, and I can attest to these. These are Shawn's attempts to try and get a hold of Uni in the background of Skype. And, yeah. So, geez, Menace. You can call out somebody for blocking you for when they're trying to show you proof, but then all of a sudden showing proof ain't all that important? I mean, that's, I don't get your mentality, buddy. I just don't get it. Let's see. I do feel that if you're calling out someone and they show up, you should engage. Not sure what that has to do with Shawn tucking tail and run. Well, you see, I understand exactly how this plays in, you see, their Menace, because I made an offer for Uni to show up. And what did he do? He put me on permaban. So, whatever the hell permaban is. And, of course, the allegations of me being a liar and all that other shit. So, you know, you got to hold yourself to even your own standard. I don't even care what you think about my standards. You got to hold yourself to your own standards, buddy. So now I had one last one. Why did I have this one? Now you don't have questions. You're just trying to raise doubt in the minds of the minions. Let's see. No one called and requests Shawn's DNA or current address. Oh, or current address and contact info. Well, yeah. So you do recognize what PII is then, personally identifiable information, and yet you admit that you guys called there, and you admit that there were emails sent. You admit that somebody sent a picture there which could only be used to try and impersonate Shawn. Because Mr. Yiki doesn't know what Shawn looks like. So why would he need it? Again, the woman who went to court for EPM doesn't know what Shawn looks like. So that picture wouldn't be necessary either. What you were doing was getting out of having a signature or a what's the damn word I'm looking for? Power of attorney to get the information that you were not allowed to have in the first place because that's private information. Period. Got it? All right. So, and let me go ahead and wind this up because I thought it was kind of interesting. I was running around trying to find out. This was a couple of days ago, but I tripped over this. But I was trying to find out where it was that I had posted on Unirock's previous videos. There was a couple of videos he did way back when that were in support of me, as well as everybody else, like Reds and Shawn and all this other stuff against FE Core. And I thought that this was actually quite interesting. Now, I tripped over it back then and thought it would be relevant for today. So hold on one second. This was the Flat World War I FE Core False Strikes against Sly Sparkane. Starting the Great One, whatever the hell it was. I don't know what he was trying to say, starting the Great One. But I just want you to listen to this here real quick. Let me go ahead and make sure that I have everything on here. Desktop audio. Let me see if this goes first. Y'all tell me if you can hear this. No, you can't. Wait a minute. I just saw the settings not working. Or the settings set to the other speakers. Speakers. Okay. So, let me crank this up because I know my audio tends to be low for some reason. And then let's see here. Oh, you didn't contact anyone there, Menace? You sure about that? Well, okay. What about that email? Ain't got that email though, don't you? So let's see here. And let me go ahead and hit play.
Well,
now listen to what Uni says here.
For me, it took quite a while for me to accept it. I had a friend here in the Netherlands who was investigating the flat Earth, and I thought he was ridiculous, of course, like most people do. I was watching.
That's Mike Cavanaugh in the back, part of my video that he's playing.
Program on YouTube, you know, and I got so extremely pissed. I almost threw.
You know, it always gets me because it's weird. No flat earther ever thinks that. Wouldn't it be like, let's just say you didn't like the United States, that you hated the United States, or you're very much against the United States.
Okay, now give it a second. Now, just take his words, the United States, as, I don't know, any other subject like Reds or Shawn or Steve or anybody like that. Because he's making an analogy here, so I'm just replacing the target of the analogy.
Wouldn't it be the most effective kind of propaganda to convince people in the current age that extremely, let's call it patriotic or big accomplishments that the country banded together to accomplish, trying to convince people over and over and over again with very unscientific and propagandistic attempts that those patriotic events are fake? That'd be great propaganda for people that hate the U.S. I don't know why no flat earther thinks of that. They act like it's just, hey, who needs science to prove this? Let's just say it over and over and over and over again.
Pretty much.
See how that works? Thank you for explaining what you think that is a great idea. If you don't like somebody, you just make up some propaganda about them and say it over and 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 over again. That is Uni's MO. That is what Uni's been doing. That's why there is no super secret proof. That's why there is no email. That's why there is none of this. And that's also, even though it's pretty creepy to find out in the background that they're actually trying to impersonate people just to find out information to support this guy. The guy who, this was August of this was right around that time. This is August 2019, where Uni was pretty much saying, hey, wouldn't that be a great idea if I just talk shit about somebody over and over and over again? And that would be a great plan. So, ladies and gents, that's all I really got for today. And let me hit this like that. That's all I got for today. And so I appreciate y'all stopping by. Me personally, I'm done with this. I'm done with every last bit of it. I don't give a shit anymore. I mean, if you haven't shown me this damn super top secret hidden proof, and I even have an email that I read a minute ago. I will not say who it's from because I did make that promise. Okay, but I do, but he or she knows who it is, and he or she has direct contact to Unirock and to probably the Menace as well. And so, just remember that it was said that there was nothing new in this background fear campaign that they have. The only information that they got was a verification of what was already online. And we already know that doesn't say that Shawn didn't pay his rent. We already know that doesn't say that Shawn was evicted for not paying rent. We already know that. So, and that's just solid research. I've done more research into this than probably Uni and fucking Menace. Doesn't mean I've talked about it more. I mean, Uni's already proven that he likes to run his mouth. But I'm done with this. So, I don't know what's going to happen probably tomorrow. I am, because I'm not afraid to say this, I am, despite how many chances I've given and how many times I've asked for it, in different ways that I have offered to produce it, I have not been shown one time. I keep getting, no, call him yourself. Well, I sent 6 emails, got nothing. Okay. Call him yourself. You get in contact with him. You're afraid and da-da-da. No, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of being, hell, I'm not even afraid of being wrong. But I'll tell you this, of all the information that was given to me thus far, by Unirock, by, and all these little cronies, and yes, I even blocked 1 or 2 of them on my YouTube channel because they just kept on going on about what a liar I am, instead of just bringing the fucking proof. I even got one of them right now, a critical argument in here. It just keeps on going on about how everybody else is, stupid and an idiot and all this other shit. Sorry, man. You don't even have the proof. That's the hysterical part. You don't even have it, and you're sitting here arguing for their dumbasses. So, anyway. Ladies and gents, I'm going to say that as a character reference, based on my years of collaborating with Shawn and Reds, I can't really say anything about Steve, positive or negative. I've only had a conversation with the guy like twice and all this, so I can't really even go in there. But I could say for Shawn and Reds, and for Fight the Flat Earth, that based on all of the previous experience that I have with them, I have no reason to think of them as being disingenuous, liars, or anything similar to that. However, all of the interactions that I have had with Menace to Sobriety, Unirock, and all his little cronies, has concluded me only one thing, and that is a truther mentality of my opinion is fact until you disprove it. Burden of proof shifting, goalpost shifting, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care anymore. Yeah, Sly couldn't see that's what I'm talking about. Sly couldn't deal with the proof, so he deleted the comments. The only comments I deleted was from Cyberfunk. And I actually muted him off my channel, and that was because of the fact that he went on and on and on and on about me being a liar, that there actually is such a thing as the protection of people's privacy. So, like I said, ladies and gents, I hope y'all have a nice evening.
Oh my god.